Dragon Ball community, welcome back to another video here with Kyle Chris, and we're going to be continuing our coverage of the anniversary box support. And today's video is going to be about Surgeku, Surge of Divinity, Super Saiyan Son Goku. This is a Surge deck for people who don't know what these are. They were dual color leaders. These came out. Actually, this expansion set came out around the time when I started playing the game. So this is actually one of the first leaders that I bought, this and Surge Piccolo. And I really like the concept of these leaders because they give you a lot of versatility with being both a 1 and 2 colors. This leader was predominantly the format at one point in the game. This deck basically ran the format until they ended up eradicating the leader, which wasn't much after. I think it was maybe a set that this, maybe not even a full set. Where this activate man in battle was changed to just on your turn, which definitely nerfed the deck significantly since then, and the deck hasn't been played since. Now that we are receiving some new support, this leader, I would say, is probably one of the decks coming out of the anniversary box that has probably the highest ceiling. And itself could be considered a tier, I would say probably the only deck in the anniversary box that would be considered a tier 1 deck. I think everything else is very opinionated. This is the only one that probably actually has merit of being a tier 1 deck. So we will go over the deck profile that I created. This is a deck that I've tested a lot. This is probably my favorite deck in the anniversary box, and I'm going to be playing as on a competitive level. And I think a lot of other people probably feel the same way. So we will start with the Unawakened side, which you are a draw to discard 1. Very good. And then Surge Awakening is very similar to Awakening, but the difference is that you can do it at any point. No life requirement. You choose 1 red and yellow card from your hand, and you place them under your leader, which then you draw 3 cards and choose one of your energies, switch to active mode. Now, the Surge effects, this one has to be activated on your turn only, once per turn, and you need 5 life or less, so you cannot activate these at 8 life. As you can see on this front side, you do not draw anymore. That's one of the weird things with the Surge leaders, is that you are surging, building up all this power, all these resources, and then once you awaken, you've kind of hit your peak, and then the deck slowly starts to fall from there. This deck now, with the new support, is a little different than how the Surge decks used to be, but you choose 1 card underneath your leader, and place it on the drop, and then you choose one of these effects. You choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. And then you can negate their skills until the end of the turn, or you give this card 10k and crit during the turn. This is an activate main or battle, so you can do this on just in your main phase, or when a card or this card is in battle. Okay, so this is a 56 card list. I believe 56. I think 56 is probably like maybe right above the sweet spot. I think maybe 54 might be a little bit better for consistency. You can't get this deck to 50. I think if you're running this deck at 50, you're actually not playing it optimally, because there's just too many things you have to play, and 50 you're gonna deck out a little too early, I think. So we're gonna start with the new support, which they are the Power Convergence cards. We have Videl, Gohan, and Vegeta. Videl is a yellow, Vegeta is a red, and then Gohan is a red and yellow. So Videl, the most important card in the deck, which is why I think I might want to slim it down a little bit. You need to see this card on turn 2. This is a barrier blocker. You pay 1 yellow. If your leader is this, you need 2 energy. You place 1 card from your hand underneath your leader, other than this, and then you play this card. You draw 2, and then you can take up to 1 life. This is incredibly good because this allows you to fill your leader effect on either side, whether you've awakened or you're still unawoken, which is great because then once you awaken, now you can utilize your leader effect more than twice. This card is insane, and the fact that it draws 2, and it plays this guy, which is a barrier blocker, so you're getting value out of that. This also gives your leader double strike for the turn, so obviously comparing that with the crit, that's very good. And then you can tap down a battle card or a unison during your turn, which is really good. You can tap down blockers, you can tap down other cards that you might want to keep in rest mode, which is what the Gohan's going to be allowing you to do. So Gohan if your leader is this leader and this card is placed in the drop area from your hand or from under your leader by your leader's effect. Now, if you remember, the unawakened side, you discard one card from your hand when you attack. And then, of course, the surge effect is you placing a card in the drop. So this has the ability of being played from either effect, and it's a colorless, so it can be red or yellow. When this card's played, you draw a card, and then it adds one marker to it. So you have to play with one marker, and then you have to draw a card as well, which is insane. So if you think about it, if your leader effect, you swing, you draw 2, you discard 1, and then you discard a Gohan, then you get to play Gohan. That's like your best turn, like turn 1, if you're going second or potentially turn 2. +1, you choose all of your opponent's battle cards that are skillless or 15k power or less in rest mode, and they can't restand until the end of your opponent's next turn. And activate battle for +0. Your leader gets 5k for each card your opponent has on the board that is skillless. Now, I'm thinking, well, your opponent doesn't really play a lot of skillless cards. Well, your leader obviously turns them into skillless with your other activate main, so that's a way of keeping your opponent's board locked down. You also have other cards in yellow where you can turn cards to skillless, so you have a lot of different variety of things you can do. This card is also a blocker to keep in mind. Next we have Vegeta Convergence. This is you need 3 energy. This later, you draw 1 and play it from your hand for 1 red. When this card is played, you choose all of your opponent's battle cards and minus them by 10k. Then you give your leader dual attack. Now why this is good is that, again, your leader, your auto not being once per turn, you can draw 2, discard 1 twice. So you get to see 4 new cards from your hand, which is really good. I would say typically turn 3 with this card slammed down is typically going to be your awakened turn, which you can play this and Videl, make your leader dual double. But it's not the best, I guess, because I think when you flip, you actually lose the keyword skills. But if you swing with twice, if you play this, you can swing with this guy. Obviously, you turn your leader to a dual attacker. On the second attack, then you can awaken and get your 3 cards and your energy back, and that's typically like your turn 3. So that's the new support for the Anniversary Box deck. Now we're going to go over just the rest of the deck. And a lot of the deck, really, you can just kind of fit good red and yellow cards into the deck, and you can kind of make it work. But this list here has already been tested, and I think it works pretty well. So we have 3 of the Sidra and Mahito. This is a DAR from COVID time. Whenever playing this card, essentially what we're going to be doing is you can use this card's permanent. You can place 1 red and 1 yellow from your drop into the warp. If you do, you can charge this card with no energy exhaust, which is really, really strong. Now, one thing, obviously, with this card, you can pitch this card off your leader. You're going to be pitching cards off your leader anyways. You also can tuck this card from your hand underneath your leader as a red or yellow card. You're going to want to play this card probably at least turn 3. Typically turn 1, you want to charge yellow. Turn 2, probably yellow again. Or this, and then turn 3, you want to charge red. So this is your best charge on turn 3, because now you have a red and yellow energy, so now you have the ability of being able to use it for whatever you want. Now we go into some other stuff here. We have 4 of this challenge from the Corpse Gohan. It searches top 5 for any yellow Saiyan or Earthling that costs 4 or less, or a 2-cost yellow Unison. And then this bottom effect doesn't matter. We just play it because it searches out our Unison here. And it searches out Videl, which is, again, the 2 most important cards for you to see between turn 1 and turn 2. Then we have this little guy, Fulfilling a Promise Goku. This is a card that a few weeks ago ended up topping inside of the Piccolo superhero deck. And I was hoping that this would stay a little bit of a secret because no one has played this card. And I was trying to buy them up, so I had a decent playset, but that did not happen, so I only got my playset of this card. But this card's really strong. I think going forward, any deck that does play a Unison, a main decked Unison, I think you would play this card in the deck, no questions asked. You need 2 energy, you combo this card, and then at the end of the combo, you can play it for 1 yellow. When this card's played, you can place a Unison from your deck into the drop, so you don't have to. You can play 2 energy, you combo this card, and then at the end of the combo, you can play it for 1 yellow. When this card's played, you can place a Unison from your deck into the drop, so you don't have to. You can play 2 energy, you combo this card, and then at the end of the combo, you can play it for 1 yellow. When this card's played, you can place a Unison from your deck into the drop, so you don't have to. You can play 2 energy, you combo this card, and then at the end of the combo, you can play it for 1 yellow. When this card's played, you can place a Unison from your deck into the drop, so you don't have to. You can play 2 energy, you combo this card, and then at the end of the combo, you can play it for 1 yellow. When this card's played, you can play a Unison from your deck into the drop, so you don't have to. You can play 2 energy, you combo this card, and then at the end of the combo, you can play it for 1 yellow. When this card's played, you can play a Unison from your So you just get free deck knowledge. And then for each yellow unison in the unison area and the drop, you KO one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode. This is obviously a yellow unison. Just because it's red doesn't matter, it is a yellow unison. So this allows you to KO cards in rest mode. I really like this card. If you don't have it now, unfortunately, you're probably not going to. It was spot out. And that's just the normal version. That's not even this really cool alt art version, which is going for $50. Currently, right now, it's $25. So, unfortunately, if you don't have this card, you probably won't get it. So you can't play with this card in the deck, and you don't necessarily need it, I guess. But it fits perfectly in the deck. We have one of the duo Goku and Vegeta. This is just used as a KO target, but it is a Goku and Vegeta, and since our leader is a Goku, we can use it. We have 3 unlimited potential. Of course, just solid red card. We also just need red cards to charge, right? If we don't have, or like, cards to put into underneath our leader or put into the drop. So like this is gonna be one of those cards that you're probably gonna play maybe once, because that red energy is probably suited better for the Vegeta or for something else like stuff in our Z deck. So this card's not gonna get played a ton, which is kind of crazy to think about, but we just need red targets. 3 and 3 of the Nova package. Honestly, I'll be completely honest, this is probably the strongest combination right now in yellow decks that are not U7, because U7 has the 4-drop and that they can play in the deck, and that's probably, I would say, comparable in strength to this, just in a little bit of a different way. You're probably just going to put this in every yellow deck, any yellow deck that plays a unison, right? Like, this is a 1-drop that's going to draw you a card, and it's a 20k dual attacker, and then you can play this guy on top of it to draw 2 more cards, and then you can KO anything, and then if it's in rest mode, you get the restand, and it's just such a strong combination. Just super good, just yellow generic cards. So buy these cards. I know this guy is selling for, it's like $5, I think, for the non-SPR version of the card. And then this card actually got bought too. Yeah, he's going for $6 or $7. So if you don't have these cards, this deck's going to be a little expensive and might be a little bit out of your price range. 3 Lucifer. This is going to be the super combo of choice. I saw people playing Beerus, and the way that I'm playing the deck, I'm playing primarily yellow, and Beerus hitting a yellow card, it only makes your super combo a 5k. So you really need to hit red all the time, and unless you're playing all multicolor and red, it's just not going to happen. So this super combo, we can't play Krillin. I don't like Hercule because we're not building a ton of Z energy early, and I want my super combo to be live a little bit earlier. So this, we just need 2 Z energy, which is much more doable. And I know I say that with Hercule. I think Hercule also needs all of your energy to be yellow, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. All of your energy has to be yellow. So this is just your leader, it just has to be yellow. It's just a draw 1. You don't need the cycle as much because you're just going to be drawing through your deck so much. This also just being live whenever, a little bit better than Krillin. And again, you can't play Krillin because we're not going to be charging all yellow. We might have to charge a mono red at some point, and then that just kills our super combo. He also is an Earthling. I think that's also important. So this is also an Earthling card, so it's searchable off Gohan. 1 Overwhelm. Unified Spirit is just a choice I put in the deck. You also can do Secret ID. 1 multi-awakening Goku. You are playing a yellow deck, and this is just one of you playing every yellow deck. Might as well, right? It's like yellow's version of Thording, basically. We have 2 Jiren Final Form. This is my fun tech for this deck, and I think this is gonna become a staple in this deck. If your leader is red, you can pay 1. This is a 25k double striker with Spirit Boost 2. It's a pretty big cost. However, when this card attacks, if you do Spirit Boost 2, you can add 1 red unison from your drop to your hand, and then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards or unisons, and minus them by 25k. Now, why this is good, cost 1, so not a huge energy requirement from us. It's a 5k combo, so it's not a dead card, but also, we play a red unison. What we can do is we can minus this guy by 2. If we kill our own unison off that effect, we can grab a red unison from the drop, meaning we can just grab Gohan back. Then we can use Videl effect, right? We can put Gohan underneath if we don't already have a Gohan underneath, and then we can use our leader effect to then put Gohan in the drop to then replay Gohan. So you have a lot of really cool usage between these two cards. And again, I think this card should be a staple in this deck. I think this card is fantastic, and also it's one of the cooler looking new SPR arts that I am very thankful that I own. Going to an SPR art that I do not own. This is the Unlimited Potential Son Gohan. Again, you are playing a red leader, so you play this just really good generic red card, draws 2, discards 2, and then you can combo any of your non-unique cards in rest mode, which is nice. Just allows you to kind of just get extra combo power on board. It's a 30k as well. Our secret rare is going to be Gohan Piccolo. I think you just have to play this card, right? I think it makes more sense to me than Gogeta, for one reason, and one reason only, which is this card. Almighty Resistance. All hail Almighty Resistance. If anyone has this card, let me know, because I will buy the Altards. I really want the Altards of this card. So this is a counter. Your leader needs to be red, and you have to discard a yellow card from your hand, and then you can negate the counterattack skill. So it's basically like cooler counter for people who don't know. Now, why I chose this secret rare over Gogeta. I know a lot of people are going to say you're going to play Gogeta. The one problem with Gogeta, and I know some people don't read this on the card, is you can't activate counters during your turn. So you can't, like, T-Blow, you can't use Almighty Resistance, because it is a counter. So, to kind of counteract that, we are basically using the old school yellow combination on how to finish games, which is double striker, counter, hand up on a Gohan super combo secret rare, basically, right? So we swing a Jiren, our opponent negates, we use Almighty Resistance, right? We counter, we throw the super combo on top, we go to 55 double strike, and then also you just throw on you just throw on every other combo, right? That's typically enough to win against most people. So we're just adding the old school yellow combination back. But now we're just playing it in red-yellow. Some defensive stuff. We have 2 Vegito, 3 Vegeta, 3 red Vegito, and then 4 Nimbus. We do not play E-Dance in the main deck, and you could probably side deck E-Dance. I just think Nimbus is just a little bit better. And you can't play the token negates because your leader is not mono of that color. Also can't play Release from Evil since your leader is not mono yellow. So there's a little bit of problem there. But this is just pretty good spread here. We play a Unison, so Vegeta's live. We play a lot of Saiyans, and we can use this effect to warp those cards to get, give our leader 30k power. And then Vegito's, again, just a good one. Just stopping our opponent from swinging a bunch because they have to tap stuff. So pretty nice. For the Z deck, a lot of choices. Red and yellow's got a lot of choices here. So we'll start off with one of each Mighty Blast. I think this is pretty standard. It should be. This just gives you multiple options for things. Also, if you do play E-Dance, Explosive Dance does not need a red Z extra. You just need a Z extra. So meaning you can actually play Kaioken and use E-Dance in your deck at the same time. So this gives me a draw and a -25 on decks that are playing 25k battle cards. This gives us a tap down effect, or we can negate a card's skills, unisons and battle cards alike. So it gives us a little way of having something like a Final Flash in the deck without actually being able to play that card. 1 Omega, 1 Majin Buu, 1 Jiren. This is our climactic battle unisons, and these all have Empower off of a red unison, which we do play Gohan, meaning we can actually empower into one of these guys and then make them uber strong. We have 1 Gogeta. If you notice, we do play Vegeta's and we play Goku's, right? So we can actually utilize these cards hypothetically by even like warping them with Mojito. We can then go into Gogeta. So we get a little bit of a barrier double striker, kind of a little bit of a cheeky way of getting it out. We have 1 Kaioken. This is an Empower yellow unison, which again, we are playing a yellow unison because Gohan is both. We can cheat this guy out, board wipe our opponent. So we actually can play him for 2 in this deck if we have 2 markers on Gohan. get 4 markers, wipe our opponent's board in rest mode, and then we also have a double striker that also can negate battle card skills once per turn. 1 Defender of Life, since we are playing a red deck. 1 non-stop attack Goku, which is a just a good way of just another double striker just to help kind of clear and win the game. And then 1 Oolong, since we are playing a yellow deck here. Now, I don't have a side deck, but I have a bunch of cards here that I think would be good options for you to play either in the main deck or on the side. So one is this 8-drop Weeson Beerus. It's a colorless. Your leader needs to be red or yellow, and you play it for 2, and you draw a card. Then if you have 2 or more red cards in your energy, you choose a battle card or a leader on your opponent's side in rest mode, and then it cannot attack during your opponent's next turn, which can be really good. And then if you have 2 or more yellow energy, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and minus it by 20k, ignoring barrier. So this gives you a little bit of removal, and a stun, and a draw, and a 30k double striker for 2 energy. Actually really solid. So it's something to consider. We have of course the 6-drop Frieza. I think this is just going to be in every yellow deck for a while. Just good for Saiyan removal. Non-stop Goku. Not non-stop Goku. This is Save the World Goku. Sorry. This is the Kidku barrier removal. We don't actually have skillless in this version of the deck, but this is a card you can think about playing if you want to play skillless. You can search them out. You can play like a red card that searches out stuff. So this is just an option for people. I think people might end up maybe trying to tech this card in. It's kind of cool. We have Gamma. Nice little cantrip. Draws you a card. Buffs you by 10k. So it just gives you like some defensive like battle tricks as well. Broly Vigor, since we are a yellow deck, we also can tap a bunch of our stuff to give this guy a bunch of keyword skills on offense or on defense. Universe at Stake, we don't play a ton of Z battle cards, but you can. And we don't play a Z leader either, but you can also use this to help kind of finish games as well. Height of Mastery, so I think the Height of Mastery engine is something you could consider playing. It's not amazing, but you can consider playing it. If you guys don't know, this is a really strong effect. When you swap into it, you can tap down 3 of your opponent's battle cards or energy ignoring barrier. We have Cell Max, 1 red. That's pretty good. It's not searchable, which it's not a big deal, but it's just a good 1-drop blocker. Also something that you can use to kind of KO stuff on your opponent's board or just remove 30k off their attacking card. I talked about the Secret already, but as I said here, you can't activate counter skills for the turn, and I don't like that. So the fact that you can play this and get red and yellow energy is pretty nuts. But you not having access to Almighty Resistance, I think, is why I wouldn't play it, personally. We have Android and Hellfighter 17. This is a card that should be in the main deck. I don't own any of this card, and I'm not paying, it's like $10 for a non-SPR version of the card. I'm just not paying that price. So when the card comes down and gets reprinted again, I'll buy it. But this is really strong, just as a 1-drop 20k. And then you can combo this card from the board, and then also combo a 5k from the drop as well. So this card actually just allows you to build Z energy pretty well, and it's a 1-drop cantrip. We have Golden Baby. This is a way of being able to turn your opponent's cards into skillless, and then use your leader effect to keep them, or your Gohan effect to keep them in rest mode. All too easy. This is just an old card for clearing. You can use it to clear 2 battle cards, or just draw 1 and KO another battle card. Defeating the Demon I did not have in the main deck, but it's also an option for defense. We have the Triple Strike Goku from the GT Goku deck. You can play it for 2 if it's discarded by you or your opponent's skills. Gains barrier for the turn, and it's a triple striker, and if your opponent activates an extra card from their hand or the drop, you can then -2 battle cards or unisons by 15k, and it's got triple strike. So that's actually pretty cool for 2 energy. We have competitive Vegeta. It's getting a reprint in the anniversary box, so people who don't have this card can try it. It's a 5k buff on defense, 20k minus on offense. It also gains 5k for every energy that you have. I think it's a very good solid card to look into. Majin Vegeta, which we didn't play in this deck, but since your leader is a yellow Son Goku, you can play it. And it's a 25k body that can KO a 5 cost and also get double strike. Also good. Bardock Negate, which I don't play in this deck as well. I just didn't really like the idea of it. And then Super Saiyan Trunks counter to stop our opponent from taking markers off the unison. I think this is a necessary side deck card. so that we can keep the Unison alive, and you don't have to worry about, you can, I mean, like, you can play anti-hand control cards, but this is just a way of saving the Unison. But that is the Surgeku build. Again, check it out. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are interested in playing this deck, if you guys want to shop some ideas, this is I think a full fleshed out competitive list here. But you guys let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As always, like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.